Hello everybody, my name is Lee Roadhamel with ShopSabre CNC. Around here they call me Rody. On today's episode we're going to cut some Tiki Torches on the 4th axis pipe cutter. For this Tiki Torch project we used Hypertherm Rotary Tube Pro software. It was easy to learn and easy to use. Let me show you a few features that made this all possible. This is a 3D software, so it makes it easy to see all sides. We have to pick a material, so that's the first thing we need to choose. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go to the main tube here, and that'll bring up the properties. We can name this like Tiki Torch 5 or whatever, but we're going to leave this one alone. Come down here, we can put the quantity in. And then we want to put the length in. So you just go ahead and type these in. Type of tube. If you left click on it, it gives you an option of round or rectangular. Now rectangular could be also considered square, and I'm going to show you in the next box here what goes on with that. But we're going to keep with the round. Now, left click the next box on the description, and that brings up a down arrow. Left click it, and you can see that it has all the preset types of tube and pipe done for you. I mean, it just makes it really easy. So we're going to leave it at 5-inch round tube. Next thing we have to do is we have to get a wall thickness. Now, if we click on this, you can see it has a drop-down box, and it only has some preset ones in there, but they do also offer a custom. Well, I have a custom wall thickness in there because it starts at 1/4 inch and works its way to 1/2 inch. So I want to manually put that in, and that's just as simple as going ahead and typing 135 in there. And then we have to do a tube material. So if you click on that, it gives you a drop-down box, and you can pick between mild steel, stainless, and aluminum. We're going to use steel, mild steel in this particular one. And material thickness, now if you left-click that, it gives you all the options for mild steel. Pretty easy stuff at this point. So we're going to use the 135, and then we're going to do our class, or choose our consumables. Left-click it. Brings us a drop-down box, left click that, and 45 shielded air. Now, I can choose to add tabs to hold both ends in place after they're cut so that the pipe doesn't drop down from the supports. Typically, we have a center support, so we don't worry about that in our case, but if you don't have that, you can add that in there, it'll hold it in place. Keeping the seam orientation. Basically, I can orientate a seam and keep like the tiki face on the front side of it just by simply putting some coordinates in. So that's kind of a brief overview of how we go ahead and set up our material. Next thing we want to do is we want to add a cutout. So if we want to add a cutout, come up to here and we left click, then we go ahead, right click it, add a cutout. And it takes a second, and you see that it brings up another box. Now with that box, we're just going to use this as an example. We're not going to alter the drawing at all, but I'm going to show you that we can do different designs very simply, or add a DXF. So let's go ahead, and I've got a circle there. We're going to left click that, do a drop down. Now you're going to see they're going to give you different options. So if you want to bring in a DXF, you would just press DXF and bring in a DXF file or a DWG. And it's as simple as doing just a left click, come down to the next box, and then you can search your files simply enough, just like that. We're not going to add it though in this particular case. So let's just say we want to add a circle. Let's just go ahead and add a circle, and you can see that I've got a circle right there. But let's say that I want to add a circle to the back side of it. 3/4 inch, we can change our side just as, or let's just use a 1 inch for instance. So we'll go ahead and do that. And now the center, you can change where it actually measures from. So we're going to measure from the center of the circle. So if we want a 1 inch circle at 1.5 inches from the bottom, all we have to do is it's going to go to the center. So if you want it from center to the bottom, that's where it's going to measure. But we're going to leave that alone also. And we're going to change our position to 1.5 inches. And we're going to left click, come down here, and we're going to orientate that at 0. If we turn this around, I'm going to do 180 and refresh. We're going to enter 0 and refresh. And you can see that it puts the circle at the seam, or 0, because that's where we set it. Now, let's take a look at something here, tool pathing. So we go from 3D to flat view. Now that brings up a flat view of what we're doing here. You can see that all the tool paths are there. Let's talk about how easy it is to go ahead and change the tool pathing. Yep, we want to change. At this point, when you go into Advanced Edit, you can pretty much point and click. We're going to modify the leads. That's how easy it is. It doesn't get any better than this for tool pathing. Now you can change your lengths manually here, and you can change how your overlaps are. Hypertherm has made it incredibly user-friendly. I'm going to go ahead and get out of this, and we're going to save this because the tool paths actually are in pretty decent shape. And you can see how it's going to go ahead, cut the top here first, after it cuts all the stuff in the center, and then it's going to cut the end. Now, like I said, we don't have tabs in there, so this is going to drop out on our center support, and that's what we expect. So let's go ahead and output this. Output. Type in your name. Let's go with Tiki Torch. And output. Yes, we're going to replace it. So now let's get down to the machine, and we're going to go ahead and cut this. Our 4 and 5 inch Tiki Torches turned out exceptional. The edge finish was a direct result of our use of linear rails, servo motors, and our steel gantry. Another benefit to this project is we have a servo-driven pipe cutter attachment, and ultimately, the height of the gantry made this project possible. With that, my name's Lee Roadhamel with ShopSabre CNC. If you have any further comments or questions, contact us at shopsabre.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.